What does it cost to live in Dubai? I don't cook, but let me tell you, some nails in Dubai are very expensive. Oh my god, these monthly expenses are definitely more. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jessica and I created dolledupbyj. So I'm coming to you guys in this video on my new filming chair. So this is my custom leather pin-pushed filming chair that I invested in for my channel because this is going to be my new filming chair, and you know, maybe we'll get a little side table and something cute, maybe something to put a candle on, but for now, you know, I'm really enjoying how my place is coming together. And in this video, I thought it'd be interesting for anyone maybe who is interested in my life in Dubai and my Dubai journey, you know, who's seen my Dubai vlogs, or someone who is thinking to move to Dubai, what the costs are. What does it cost to live in Dubai as a single female with also finer taste, but on a budget, okay? If you guys are here for it, give the video a big thumbs up, keep on watching, and for returning subscribers, thank you and I love you. Okay, so I have a little note document here that I made before filming this. So let's get into the living expenses. So I just got a 1-bedroom apartment in a brand new building for 1 year, and the way that the rent works here in Dubai is that some of the landlords want 1 check, some of them want 2 checks, some of them want 3, 4 for the year. So mine actually, she wanted 2 checks, and I was just like, you know, because it's unfurnished, that's kind of a heavy lift because I do like nicer furniture, and as much as I've tried to get as many things as possible on a budget, there's some key pieces that I did splurge on a bit. So, you know, also just needing to get a bed, a washing machine. I didn't realize I had to get a washing machine, curtains, hanging lights. This all adds up, right? Kettles, dishes, cutlery. Like, who knew I needed these things, right? When you move into an unfurnished place. So amazing. So anyways, I negotiated my rent to be 3 checks because just 2 checks, that's 6 months rent up front. I'm commission only, and this was before I'd even gotten paid. So I was living off of my savings and investments, right? So I wanted to be as careful as possible. So I agreed to pay an extra 5,000 rent per year in exchange for 3 checks. A lot of landlords do that. You can negotiate. So I'm gonna say everything in dirhams. I've done some conversions for you, and I'm also going to put them on the screen. So AED is the currency in the UAE, it is dirhams, and so my rent for the year is 85,000 dirhams. So I calculated that that is 31,500 Canadian per year. So per month in dirhams, it'll all be on the screen for you. So it's 7,083 a month. And when I was renting from my friend in the Creek, it was 6,000 a month, just for a bedroom and my own bathroom. So I was like, you know what, for just a little bit more a month, I can get my own place. I mean, obviously there's so many other costs associated with this, but I'm gonna get into it. Okay, so that's what the rent is, right? So I think it's about like 2,400 Canadian a month or something, which is kind of like, if you're living in a more upscale area of downtown, that's what you would pay. And this apartment, for reference, is 756 square feet, and I have 2 balconies, and it is in a brand new building, never lived in before. And I wanted to have a brand new building, to be honest with you, because my place in Canada that I lived in for almost 9 years, it was such an old building, and I was just like, I swear to God, if I live in another building with an outdated kitchen and bathroom, like at this stage of my life, I can't, I'm not doing it. So I digress. So then we have utilities. So utilities in Dubai are called DEWA, Dubai Electricity and Water Association, Alliance? I don't know, it's called DEWA. It's called DEWA. So per month, I just got my first DEWA bill, which is why I wanted to do this video, because I actually know how much it costs, because I've never had to pay it before. As you guys know, I didn't have to pay anything before. So DEWA, 400 dirhams a month. So that's for your electricity, that is for your water usage and hot water and anything like that. So 400 a month, DEWA. And then my internet here is definitely more expensive than Canada, I noticed. So my internet is 430 a month. You can get cheaper plans, but personally, when I am exporting videos, I need internet that actually works, and the internet plan I have is so good. It exports like a 30-minute video in like 5-6 minutes. It's amazing. It's amazing. So because of that, I wanted to just also invest for my own business and have a reliable internet connection that's always working. I can maybe get into how much it costs to furnish my apartment at the end of the video, but I'm gonna go into the main monthly expenses for living in Dubai. So next we have phone bill. So my phone bill is about 325 dirhams a month. But a lot of places in Dubai, what you do is you text your license plate with how many hours you want to do parking, and the parking in my office isn't always free. So I try and park like kind of around the office in like the cheaper parking areas because it adds up, right? And if I park in the main lot by my office, it can be up to 70 dirhams a day, which is like, I don't know, $25. So that adds up, right? So I try and park, like I get 2 hours of free parking a day, and then I try and like move the car into like the cheaper lots. Sometimes I forget though, or sometimes if you leave and come back, it's free again. Anyways, so my phone bill ends up being $550 typically every month with those added parking charges on top. Not to mention the odd time when I park in the office parking lot and it's like 30 dirhams, 40 dirhams, you know, etc. So I'm probably gonna have to add more money to the end of this that I didn't factor in, but phone bill is $325 plus about $225 in extra street parking charges a month. The car, so I'm doing a monthly rental car at the moment, but you can purchase a car here for sure. And my monthly car rental is about 2,000 dirhams a month. It's a complete rip-off. Right now I'm driving a Nissan Sunny. Before it was a Kia, before it was a Nissan Micra. Oh my goodness, the car rentals per month here are really expensive. There are some places you can get like, you know, a couple hundred dirhams cheaper, give or take, but honestly, they're all pretty much the same, and that's just what I'm paying for a car. And you can also purchase a car here with monthly finance for about that per month, or a little bit more if you want a more premium brand. 2,000 dirhams a month is what I pay. I didn't even put fuel on here. Oh my god, these monthly expenses are definitely more. Okay, so for fuel, basically, as a real estate agent, I probably fill up the car every 5 days, and I spend about 100 to 120 dirhams every time I fill the car. So I'm doing 6 fill-ups a month, 600 to 700 dirhams a month on fuel. So the car costs are nearly, let's call it 2,700 dirhams, including fuel. Now, if you personally buy a car, you're gonna have to pay insurance as well. Insurance in this country is much cheaper than Canada, I will say. That's why I'm definitely looking to purchase a car, because the car insurance is actually much cheaper, and it ends up being kind of the same price to do a monthly rental versus just buying a car outright, which I didn't really realize. So I've been really working hard to buy a car right now and also save. So also for my Canadian phone. So I have 2 phone numbers. I have a UAE number for my WhatsApp business and my local calls, but I still have my Canadian phone number because I have so many friends and family, and personally, everything in Dubai is on WhatsApp. Everyone speaks on WhatsApp. That's just kind of the way it is. Voice notes, messages, everything is WhatsApp. So in order to keep myself sane and keep myself organized, I have my Dubai number for my business WhatsApp for real estate, and then I keep my Canadian phone plan paid, pretty much like no data, just bare minimum plan, but because it's Canada, it's still like $100 a month just to have my phone number active for WhatsApp, so I can speak with friends and family and personal contacts that aren't business, you know, and that way as well, like it's just separated. I'm not missing messages from friends or clients because it's all separated, right? So that's a necessary expense. I need that, so I need to have 2 phone numbers, and I also have 2 phones, but I actually don't need to carry 2 phones. I just use 2 WhatsApps, and that's fine for me. So food per month. Okay, so food, now I don't cook, okay? I don't cook, but let me tell you, buying groceries in Dubai, unless you go to the really cheap supermarkets, you can definitely do that. Groceries, honestly, I find sometimes it's cheaper just to order here. By the time you order all the ingredients, I'm cooking for one, right? So from my perspective, I'm cooking for one. I'm not someone that likes to have meal prep done for the week and eat the same thing. Like, you know, after the second day, I throw it in the garbage. I can't do old food. I'm sorry, I can't do old food. And so for that reason, I literally just order a lot, like almost every single day, or I go to one of the little shops by my office and grab a wrap and usually hard-boiled eggs and maybe some fruit for lunch every day. My lunch is maybe like $7 to $10 Canadian a day, and I just go to the shop and save money that way. And honestly, for me to buy all the ingredients to make all those things, probably gonna be the same amount of money, honestly, to buy like, I've got to boil the eggs myself, peel them, no thank you. I've got to make grilled chicken, sauces, condiments, all of these things. Like by the time you buy all these things, the chicken goes bad, it's not good after 2 days, 3 days, you know? So personally, I just buy my lunches. Now for dinners, I do often just order on one of the apps. You can literally get a full meal for like $10 to $15 delivered to your door. So really my food costs aren't that high. And personally, like I rarely actually spend money on going out. A lot of the things I go out to, because I have very well connected friends and I get my own invites as well, or there's events in Dubai I'm invited to, free free. Like the most money I ever spent going out was when I went to Rasputin and DIFC, and I think my personal dinner bill was like $330. But that was celebrating more home sales, and why not? You have to celebrate life sometimes, you know? So that was a cost, but if you do go out to buy, you're gonna spend a lot of money. So you really need to manage yourself. So nails, obviously, you know, I need to do my nails, okay? This is a travesty right now. This just happened within the last 24 hours, horrible. So I'm doing my nails tomorrow. So nails in Dubai are very expensive, okay? So nails are about $120 Canadian for a fill, not even a new set, fill. In Vancouver, I used to pay 60 plus tip. Here, it's 120 before any gratuities. And pedicures are about $60 to $70. So in dirhams, I spend about $550 per month on my nails. This can vary because some months I do it every 3 weeks. Sometimes I push it to 4. In this case, I think I pushed it to 4 weeks, and like you can tell, you know. So anyways, adding up rent, 2 phones, car, diwa, internet, food, and nails. This is not including when I do my hair or anything, okay? Because I'm not sure what your hair routine is like and all of that. But just those basic things. This is without fuel, okay? The number I came to, 12,854 AED. And if you want to add fuel onto that, if you drive around a lot, minimum 500 dirhams a month, minimum, I would say, minimum, depending what car you have as well, you're looking at over 13,000 dirhams a month, 56,000 about yearly. And that's more than a lot of people's salaries in Canada right now. And people in Canada who are making, for example, a $40,000 salary and paying taxes on that, how are you supposed to live, to be honest? The cost of living has gone up so much in some countries, especially where I'm from, Canada. It's absolutely insane to imagine how people making $40,000, $50,000 a year and a salary you're getting taxed on, and they are paying, you know, maybe a mortgage, maybe they have an SUV for the job that they have, they need a more, you know, high performance vehicle, they're spending more on fuel. You have expensive phone providers in Canada. Internet can be a bit cheaper, but if you have a large home, you know, even if you're sharing the bills with a significant other or something, these costs of living are really crazy. And so that's part of why I honestly live here, is there's no income tax. And this type of money, if I was just to work a job in Canada, $56,000 a year, that is before I'm buying any clothing. That is before I'm doing my hair. That is before I'm buying any makeup, you know? So let's be conservative and tack on another $5,000. It's probably more than that just for my hair, to be honest with you. Just being completely honest, I'm a blonde, I get extensions, it's an investment. So imagine 61,000, 62,000 a year, and you haven't even bought any clothing yet. And this is before you pay any taxes, right? So I know that this is obviously can be done cheaper. Trust me, it can be done way more expensive too. I tried to find somewhere that was a new building in an area close to my office that was reasonably priced, but I am paying a premium considering, you know, I'm not living on the Palm, I'm not living directly downtown. I'm obviously not going to say where I'm living at the moment because, you know, you shouldn't say that online, but I do love where I live. I absolutely love where I live, and it's fabulous, but I am paying a bit of a premium because I live in a new building and I had to furnish it myself. So, you know, to get into the figures of how much I spent furnishing my place, sofa was 2,300 dirhams. Coffee table I splashed out, it was 2,400 dirhams, same price as the sofa. This chair ended up being a splurge because I sent it back and they had to rip off the leather and redo it. So they did as best they could, you know, with what they thought I wanted, and then I just had to send it back. So anyways, I had to pay an extra fee for another panel of leather. So it ended up being 3,850 dirhams for this chair. So it was not a cheap chair. The mirror was 950. I'm really good at remembering numbers, by the way, so I'm not making this up, I remember it. Curtains were 1,450. The lights were 300 for these 2 pendant lights I have. My Soleti lamp was 1,400 dirhams. My side table was, I think, 250. It was a good deal. Dining table, 380 steel. Dining chairs, 150 each. That's 600. Then we go over to the kitchen. I bought some plates, I bought some cutlery, I bought some coffee mugs, and, you know, a kettle. I got that Soleti vase. That was, I think, 500 dirhams or something. Cutlery, some utensils that I never use since I don't cook. Why did I buy kitchen knives? I don't cook. Anyways, you know, tack on another 1,000 dirhams for that. And then I bought a bed. How can we forget? I bought a bed. Now the bed came custom made and it came with 2 nightstands. And I haven't done a bedroom tour yet because I'm not finished the bedroom and I focused on my living space because these things add up so much, right? So I focus on my living space. I don't love my bedroom at the moment. It's very plain. I want an area rug. I put a chandelier in there, but I want to get new nightstands that don't come with the bed because I just don't like the vibe. I need side tables as well still. So I have a lot of things. You guys, I haven't bought a TV yet. I bought this chair instead of a TV because my focus is so much right now on work and content that even before, when I was renting from a friend, she had a TV. I never used it. I used it maybe one time in like the 2 or so months that I was renting from her. I just don't watch TV, you guys, honestly. Like, I'm literally like, should I buy a piano instead and put it there? But it can't be by the window. It can't be by the window because of the humidity and the sun. It'll ruin it. So eventually I will get a TV for sure, but to be honest, you guys, it doesn't bother me at the moment. It's low on my priority list, and higher on my priority list is getting beautiful, bespoke looking, whimsical home decor accents with panache, with pizzazz, okay? So I also got a few things for the bathroom. I've got a soap pump from CB2 that was expensive, that was $150. I got a gold bathroom tray that was $250. I got a black fur throw. I got a Restoration Hardware happened, but you know, there was a members sale, so we had to go for it. You can find furnished places in Dubai, you can, for also less than I'm paying per month of rent. But the issue I had is I haven't lived on my own in such a long time, since I was in Canada, and I wanted my place to be absolutely my own style, entirely my control. And the thing is, with furnished apartments in Dubai, a lot of the time they are not styled to a high standard. Like, for example, when I lived in 2 holiday rentals that I never showed you guys because I wasn't in the mental headspace that I wanted to be on YouTube. I lived in 2 holiday rentals after my breakup, so I actually moved 4 times. I went to a holiday rental on the Palm. It was furnished with IKEA. It was horrible. Like, it was beautiful. It was on the beach. It was a bit of an older building, and it was furnished with IKEA, and the bed was so uncomfortable it sent me to the hospital. I'm not kidding you. I had the worst neck pains of my life. I couldn't get out of bed. I went to the emergency room. This was so bad. So for that reason, it really traumatized me, and I didn't want to risk moving into another place that was furnished if the furniture wasn't to a standard, you know, a hard couch, a hard bed, sandpapery towels. I'm sorry, no. In this phase of my life, I want complete control over my home decor and the quality of materials, and I'm willing to obviously wait for certain pieces such as TV, maybe beautiful prints that I really identify with personally for my walls, artwork. But I'm really spending my time curating my place and focusing on quality. It doesn't have to all be expensive. My couch, for example, 2,300 dirhams, custom build, oversized sectional, absolutely stunning, amazing. I love it. And I went to Dragon Mart and found it, and found a great furniture manufacturer there. And so it's all about how you kind of piece things together and style them. It doesn't have to necessarily be CB2, luxury home, you know, Marina Home, all of these bougie places that you can buy furniture. You can get things custom made, such as this all leather beautiful armchair. CB2 sold a similar version for, I think it was 6,000 dirhams, but I actually did the measurements with the guy that they have on their website to compare, and the chair from CB2 was actually so much bigger. It was another 28 centimeters wide. And my living area it's a great sized living room, but this would have eaten the whole space if I had just took the plunge and spent that at CB2. So I'm happy that I just took the time and got this custom made exactly how I wanted it, and I'm really curating my space. But I think a rough estimate, let's see off the top of my head, maybe I spent 20,000 dirhams furnishing, so plus the cost of rent, right? So this is why there's certain things in my life right now where I'm really just like watching my shopping, because I've been setting up a brand new life and I want to do it properly. I don't want to just fill a home with cheap, free bits and bobs that have no style, that are run down, that are old, that are not inspiring, because at the end of the day, a home is a sanctuary, right? You know, it's entirely up to you. There are places in Dubai that if you want to move here and test it out, people sometimes rent rooms in villas for 3,000 to 4,000 dirhams a month. I mean, it really depends on what you're comfortable with. And personally, I was just so not interested to live with absolutely anyone that I was in holiday rentals, and then I rented from one of my good friends who owns a place in the creek, and she travels so often. So, you know, I did have a lot of time to myself, but obviously when she's home and stuff, it just was one of those things where I was like, okay, I need a push to get my own place, right? So it was a blessing in disguise that I had that experience and was able to, you know, live in my own kind of private space, and sometimes it was my own full apartment. But obviously it wasn't my furniture, it wasn't my stuff. And so if you guys are thinking to move to Dubai or you're just curious about it, you know, you don't necessarily need to pay 7,100 dirhams a month on rent. There are people paying 24,000 dirhams on hotel residence buildings that I know of. And you know, this is the kind of level Dubai goes from. You could rent a room in a villa for like 3,000. You can rent a, I think, bunk bed somewhere. It's usually for males because like a lot of women, I don't know how it works, but rent them for like 500 or 800 dirhams a month. And it's literally just a shared tiny bed, no personal space. But you know, that's sometimes the best what people can do, right? I'm just trying to give you guys perspective. There's extremes in Dubai. You can rent a bunk bed for 800 dirhams, you know, or, you know, a small room in a house for, you know, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, depending on the size of room in the neighborhood. Or you can rent a full apartment, you know, for about 6,000 to 7,000-ish a month in a decently priced area. But if you do go directly into downtown or the Palm or any of these very luxurious neighborhoods, you are going to pay a premium for apartments. So that's why I think that, you know, 85,000 was probably my maximum I wanted to spend, because in Canada, I think my rent in Vancouver was still really good. When I left, it was 1,500 at the same apartment for 9 years. So it was really, really affordable. But that hopefully gives you guys just a little bit of perspective into if you're looking to get a place set up in Dubai. Now, one other point I wanted to touch on is there's always unexpected expenses, such as you have to do something called in Dubai a jari. So it's like a tenancy registration. So you have to pay 250 dirhams to the government to create a jari profile for you, which is where you put all your tenancy through this system. You set up an jari, and then you have to pay 2,100 dirhams to DIWA for the water and utilities. You have to put a deposit for that. Because if you, I think, default on your bill or something, they take it out of the deposit, or if you move the country, you can get it back, but you have to put a deposit on DIWA. So you have to get about, for example, 2,300 to 2,400 dirhams set aside just to have your electricity working in the apartment. So that is an upfront cost. Yeah, and you also need to obviously pay a rental deposit if you are going to take a place. And I think my rental deposit, I gave 4,500 as like a 5% deposit. So you need to do all of these things as well, upfront costs, if you want to have your own place. So that is why a lot of the time when people first move to Dubai, and why I also did for myself after moving out on my own, is I wanted to see kind of what community I wanted to live in and all of this, and getting my feelers, you know. And a lot of people do short-term rentals because you don't need to pay a rental deposit, damage deposit. You don't need to set up your gas. You don't need to set up your DIWA, your internet. It's all included in the price. So that's why a lot of the time, sometimes short-term rentals can actually be cheaper because they're often always furnished as well. And then it gives you a sense of, do I want to live in this community or not? And then you can really pull the plunge and make a decision. So I hope this video has been informative and helpful for anyone interested maybe in the costs of living in Dubai, you know, by yourself, or whether you are in a couple and you're thinking of splitting these costs. I thought it would just be helpful to anyone interested, and maybe interested as well in what my costs of actually living on my own have been. And, you know, it's not cheap, but it's not super expensive. And I could definitely be doing it way more luxuriously, but I could also be doing it a lot cheaper if I wanted. But that's just the standard that I've chosen, that I want to do for myself. So I hope you found it interesting. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. I would love to have you back on my channel. And if you guys are returning subscribers, thank you. I love you. Definitely give the video a big thumbs up. Leave a comment below, and I will see you next time. Okay, guys. Bye.